I was born in 1777 with help from a lady named Betsy Ross and a few of her friends. Back then, I had 13 alternating red and white stripes. I still have one stripe for each of those original 13 colonies. Today, I have 50 white stars on a heavenly blue background. These stars represent all the states of our great nation. I stood for them then, and I stand for them now, with liberty and justice for all. I represent freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and freedom of the press for every American. I am the living legend of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. I rode with George Washington when he and his men fought the cold at Valley Forge. I was there with Abraham Lincoln at Gettysburg. I was there in the trenches with the soldiers during the Great War, World War I. Dwight D. Eisenhower and I led the attack in North Africa in 1942 in World War II. And we were together again during the D-Day invasion in 1944. I knew the hands of the Indian, Ira Hayes, and the few Marines when they lifted me up to victory on the island of Iwo Jima. I was in Korea in 1950 when it wasn't even called a war. In Vietnam, I was there with our boys from the Delta to the DMZ. I fought beside our brave men and women in the deserts of the Persian Gulf. I was tattered and torn on that tragic day of 9/11. But with the help and the courage of all Americans, I proudly rose to fly again. Now I'm flying in the streets of what once was Saddam Hussein's Baghdad. Yes, I've always been there with the troops of our great nation, the soldiers, airmen, sailors, Coast Guard, and Marines, when they marched, crawled, sailed, and flew over, around, and through to victory. I have heard the sound of taps as I was being draped over a soldier's casket. I have felt the shaking hands and the sting that comes from hot tears of a mother when I was handed to her to keep forever. I stand proud as both young and old of our great country pledge allegiance to me. I am the flag they call Old Glory.